Okay, I've got something for you. The new parts have been fitted to the car. The simulation numbers are good, so I look forward to your feedback. Check out the details.
What's going on, guys? Aarava here. Welcome back to my F1 2016 Career Mode, episode number 13 today for the Belgium Grand Prix here at Spa-Francorchamps. And you can see here our engineer has given us our R&D report for installing the third drag reduction upgrade. So this has actually become our biggest upgrade path. Initially, I didn't really think about doing much on the drag reduction side. I was mostly doing chassis weight, engine, and also downforce. But now drag reduction is our biggest kind of department that we've upgraded in. And so this is our third upgrade. This should help out here, obviously, being at Belgium, you know, the first sector down the Kemmel straight up Rouge, and then the final sector down through Blanchimont. It's a long way to go, a long distance, long straight, so we need this third drag reduction upgrade. And with the two engine upgrades we've already got, hopefully that will help us counteract that. Obviously, we still need downforce in Sector 2, and that was actually where I was strongest all weekend. I felt through practice it was all good, through track acclimatization, also tyre wear management, and the qualifying pace test, all again 50 out of 50, another perfect weekend of 175 out of 175 points. So I'm really getting in the swing of practice, and I've finally nailed down every single section on how to do it and max out the R&D upgrade, which is really working an absolute treat for us. In practice, interestingly, we also had this little moment where we went side by side and had to try and overtake Palmer, I think it was, during our tyre wear management test. But a lot of you guys have been asking in the comments how I get perfect scores in the tyre wear management. You weren't really sure how to do it and how to drive, so I'm going to show you an unedited, uncommentated lap of my last lap. You can see here I've gone all purple so far. This will be another one, so I'll leave you to it so you can just watch it, maybe analyze what I'm doing, and then I'll come back to it. Hopefully this will be helpful for you guys, but yeah, I'll leave it here and come back afterwards. So as you can see, a perfect lap there for purple and all purple laps during that tyre wear test. So hopefully that lap kind of helped some of you guys out, because I know a few of you were commenting below saying you were struggling to kind of do it. So hopefully that kind of helped. Basically, essentially, you have to make sure you brake in a straight line, be as smooth as you can on the throttle, make sure you're not scrubbing the tyres so much and moving in very violent directions, basically. It's that's kind of the best way I can describe it, really, but hopefully watching a lap there kind of helped you through, and maybe you could analyse what was happening in the bottom right there with my braking and my throttle levels there. So we move on to qualifying. Q1, thankfully, once again, was a formality, and then yet again in Q2, you can see I'm putting on the soft tyre. It's probably getting a bit tiring maybe, but it really is just the best strategy I'm finding, putting on the kind of middle tyre in Q2, because we start on that tyre and we pop it up in P4. By the end of the session, we just about squeeze it through. So even though I'm doing it quite a lot, it's not easy. I'm just about making it through here, and we just do it again. And our teammate did not make it through once more on super soft tyres in P12, but we just make it through along with Sebastian Vettel. So me and Vettel will both be starting on the soft tyre at the start of this race, and the others will be starting on super soft. So really happy we made it through down Q2. You can see in Q3, it got a lot darker to Q2 and Q1, and it meant the track conditions actually changed quite a lot. The track actually became quite cold and grip level definitely dropped. I could definitely feel it in most of the corners, especially Sector 2. It was very, very understeery. I had to do a lot more lock on the steering wheel to turn, and you can see a lock up here into bus stop. Not a great entry or exit to this corner, and just generally the conditions really did change quite dramatically and surprisingly. We come through, it's going to be P5 at the moment. By the time the session ends, it's going to be P7, so our usual P7 position that we've got so many times this season. I mean, we've got P7 so many times that they should basically just give us number 7. I mean, just screw Kimmy. Just give me my number 7. Give me my favourite number game. Just please. Because we've got P7 so many times. It's just our favourite position. But we're starting P7 on the soft tyres with Vettel further up, obviously, in P3 on soft tyres. So it'll be interesting to see how the start goes for us. But once more, set ourselves up for a really good race. Hopefully the drag reduction and the engine upgrades we've got so far will help us out in the race on heavier fuel. Not too sure how the AI are going to be compared to us in a straight line, but we'll have to see how it goes. But it should be another cracker. The Belgian Grand Prix is always usually one of the favourites on the calendar in terms of the race. Obviously in real life we've got a stunner, so let's see what we do today. Let's go to the grid for the Belgian Grand Prix. As per usual, before the formation lap, we're having a look at the race strategy. You can see I actually changed the strategy around. Initially, my team wanted me to do a soft, super soft, and then soft strategy. I've changed that around, so we go on the soft tyre for the first pit stop, then super softs at the end, so that will obviously mean we're faster at the end on lower fuel. Hopefully by that point we've saved also a little bit of fuel for rich mix running on the super soft tyre, so we'll be a lot faster then. So it's basically a case of if we do lose positions in the middle part of the race, at the beginning of the race, we can make it back up at the end. But interestingly enough, both strategies today do not involve the medium tyre. I really thought the medium tyre would be used, but I guess, I don't know, quite durable, maybe, you know, not very kind of rubbered in, maybe not the correct race tyre for this track on the game. In real life, we saw the medium tyre quite a popular choice, but of course we had a very early safety car, and also in real life, generally, it's a little bit different to the game in terms of the race tyre. We've seen a lot of times in the career mode races, the kind of middle tyre and the fastest tyre are the race tyres in the game, whereas in real life, sometimes the hard tyres are more favoured. But we come through Rouge, we've got past Bottas because he slowed down very weirdly, but we continue on, cut later on to the end of the formation lap because it's a very, very long formation lap here in Spa. We can see we're lining up our grid. Verstappen goes past us. Obviously, we have to get in the correct grid position, and we're in P7, just in a bit of a Williams sandwich here, but we'll see what we can do here. It's going to be very, very interesting into turn 1. What will Max Verstappen do? Let's see. We go to 5 red lights for the Belgian Grand Prix. Round 13 of the 2016 calendar. Dump the clutch and we're underway. Raikkonen gets a poor start there and Bottas does. So we've jumped both of them, looks like. Into turn 1 we go. Verstappen going slowly. I go down inside. He goes really wide. So opportunistic move there. And we're up into P4. So it's been an absolute wonderful start for us. But as we go down towards Rouge, Verstappen will come back at us and Raikkonen slipstreaming each other up Rouge. You can see Hamilton and Rosberg go side by side up there, so they go over the crest blind corner there for us, so we can't see what's going on. It looks like those three are an absolute titanic battle, but we've got better things to worry about as Verstappen now slipstreams us. We've got Raikkonen and Bottas. Look, here comes Bottas shooting down the inside to try and make a 3-man overtake at the end of the Camel Straight. Oh, there's been contact! Controversy! Hamilton is out of the race potentially. Rosberg tapped him round and the safety car is being called out. It's just like the real life Grand Prix. Absolute mayhem at the start. And like 2014, Rosberg and Hamilton have made contact there at the end of the Kemmel Straight. We're up into 3rd place now. A safety car has been called. Let's look at a replay of what happened there. So this is the start. Let's look at this. So we get a pretty okay start. Ricciardo behind us gets an interesting line. We go down to turn 1. You can see Verstappen goes really wide and slow. So I just go down his inside. He goes wider and then takes a kind of wider line. Gets a good exit compared to me, actually. And you can see up ahead, Hamilton slipstreaming Rosberg to go up side by side through Rouge. But here's Verstappen lining us up. Up Rouge we go. Raikkonen also in his slipstream. As we go down the Kemmel Straight, you can see Verstappen, Raikkonen and Bottas, each getting in a bit of a single file line here. And then this is where Bottas climbs up on the right-hand side, overtakes 2 cars there, Raikkonen and Verstappen, tries to go down my inside. And then up ahead you can see, Rosberg tapping Hamilton's rear tyre there, spinning him round. And then this is where the safety car was called out. Let's take a look at Hamilton's kind of perspective. So he's coming up Eau Rouge here, goes round the outside, just about makes it actually, gets into first place there, so really nice move there from Lewis Hamilton. Then Rosberg gets back in the tow. He moves out to the right-hand side. Vettel also slipstreaming Rosberg. Does Vettel try it? Yeah, he does. He makes it 3 wide at the end of that straight. And then here, coming through, Rosberg goes really tight. Really wide and deep into the corner. Taps Hamilton. And I think also Vettel might have tapped Rosberg there and pushed him into Hamilton a little bit. So let's look at a POV now from Rosberg's perspective. Really, really close there on the left front. But Hamilton just gets past. But as I mentioned here, then this allows Rosberg to get a tow back, so he moves to the right, so it's all fine at the moment. Then Vettel's going to come down our right hand side on the inside of him, but he goes really deep, Rosberg does, into this corner, taps him once and then taps him again. And here, that second tap, I feel like, I don't know, let me know in the comments below what your opinion, guys, is of that, but I feel like that second tap from Rosberg is actually due to Vettel coming into play and tapping him potentially. So we're having a look at Vettel's POV. So he gets actually caught up by Rosberg. That could have been a nasty accident, actually, if he didn't kind of brake a little bit in the middle of the straight. But here comes Vettel down the inside on soft tyres. You can see 1 tap there, and then this tap, I feel like is Vettel's kind of doing, actually. Vettel kind of pushes Rosberg into it. But either way, Hamilton with a broken front ring. I don't know if he's out of this race. I don't think he is, because we've still got 22 runners in this Grand Prix, so I think he's still in this Grand Prix, but without a front wing, obviously, at the back of the grid right now. And then here, through the bus stop, on the same lap, at the very end of the lap, Vettel slows down to an absolute crawl. Rosberg's slowed down. He's ghosting. Vettel's ghosted. I continue on. I tried to slow down to maybe let Vettel back past, but I couldn't slow down too much because otherwise Bottas would have overtaken me. And on this game, unfortunately, if you let an AI car overtake you under the safety car, you can't re-overtake them. So I had to continue on to stop Bottas overtaking me and taking an unjust position. But Vettel just stopped on track there, ghosted through, and so me and Bottas have strangely gained a position. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate in terms of that, but I can't really do too much. I either let him back past and also lose 2 positions, or just continue like this. And so I just decided to continue like this, but a bit of a weird glitch, so I'll have to see if that's something that's come up for other people. Let me know if it has for you. But anyway, we get on to the end of lap 3. You can see Rosberg backing us up, and he goes and bolts through the entry of the bus stop chicane. Quite awkward for me, actually. Didn't get the best entry and exit to that little complex that I wanted to stay right up Rosberg's gearbox. But anyway, we go into turn 1, and we restarted this Grand Prix. Rosberg first from myself, then Bottas in 3rd. Vettel's down in 4th now off that glitch, and then Daniel Ricciardo there in 5th place. And then you can see, I think that's a Renault Palmer or Magnussen up in 5th place at the moment, so wonderful for him. But on the restart here, we get an absolute worldly run up down towards Eau Rouge, and up Eau Rouge, down the Kemmel Straight, in the slipstream. We're going to actually try and overtake Nico Rosberg. Look at this, no DRS, just slipstream, and really working an absolute treat. There's an OP slipstream down the Kemmel Straight, round the outside. He gives us the room, and we're cleanly up into 1st place of the Belgian Grand Prix. So I do not know what happened there. Maybe Rosberg has an ERS issue or something like that, but we gained so much time slipstreaming us. But it doesn't take him too long. Onto lap 4, and Rosberg down the back straight through Blanchimont is right up our chuff. He doesn't make a move through Blanchimont, but he's really tight on here. But he's on super soft, so he may be pitting soon. So I'm thinking he might come in this lap. So through bus stop on the right-hander, then left. You can see on the mirrors there, Rosberg peels into the pit. So Rosberg obviously on the super softs, not able to go as long as I can, and potentially Vettel. So we've set the first lap of the Grand Prix, obviously, because there's been a safety car. So we would do through turn 1. Rosberg is pitting now from his super soft tyres. They can't go any longer. You can see Kevin Magnussen with an absolute brilliant 3rd place at the moment on his super soft, so going a bit longer. And then on to the next lap, on towards lap 6, Vettel comes into the pits, which was very, very surprising indeed. Because if you remember, Vettel did start on the soft tyres along with us, so it's very odd that he's come in on lap 6. Surely he would be looking to take the tyres a lot longer, like Sergio Perez, and also you can see Hulkenberg is doing behind us. So very, very odd strategy from Vettel to pit that lap. Maybe he was covering off Rosberg. Obviously, if you're in Ferrari and you're battling Mercedes, you would think like that, tactically trying to cover off your rivals there. As we move later on to lap 6, you can see Daniel Ricciardo out of the Grand Prix. My engineer was telling me he had an issue with his car, and then he's retired literally the same point my engineer was telling me that. So we look at a replay of what happened to Ricciardo literally just earlier on down the road on that lap. He actually gets overtaken by the Toro Rosso, which probably suggests he's got an issue right now. You can see it looks like he's going a lot slower, and then, oh, big cloud of smoke. Nearly rear ends the Toro Rosso there, but at the end of the Kemmel straight, his engine goes up in smoke, so Christian Horner is not going to be a happy man there. Ricciardo peeling off on the right-hand side. I don't actually know how I missed him there. He was literally right there as we went past him, but he's parked up there, and Daniel Ricciardo's now out of the Grand Prix, so such a shame for him. In real life, obviously, he got the second place, but unfortunately for him in this Grand Prix, in the career mode, he's out of the Grand Prix. So we move on to lap 7 now. We've got yellow flags. We're still leading the race from Perez, and Wehrlein is surprising in a brilliant third place for the Manor car. Absolutely wonderful of him, but we come through, yellow flags, and Hamilton is going slowly, so he already crashed out the race, so he's had another incident in this Grand Prix, so Hamilton has been all over the show with the crashes in this Grand Prix on lap 7. So we look at a replay of what happened. So this is a Toro Rosso coming out of the pits. I think it's of Fiat. And then Hamilton on fresh soft tyres tries to overtake him up Eau Rouge. Is this going to be where the crash happens? There goes, oh, side-by-side contact with the tyres. Hamilton nearly crashes in the exact same place Kevin Magnussen did, although just a little bit earlier on down that little straight, not exactly at the same exact point where Kevin Magnussen smashed into the Armco barriers. But Hamilton there with a bit of front wing off, so he's going slowly. Yeah, still not out of the Grand Prix, just stone dead last at this point, I think. So a lot of bad luck for Hamilton. But anyway, eventually into the Grand Prix, we come in for our first pit stop, and the team have actually switched me on to a medium strategy. So you remember at the start of the Grand Prix, we said we were going to go soft, soft, and then super soft. And the initial strategy my engineers gave me was soft, super soft, soft. Now, because of the safety car, I'm going to try this. We're going to try a one stop. My team suggested a one stop, and I'll go for it. We'll take a punt. One stop, medium tyres, all the way to the end of the Grand Prix. It's going to be close, but we'll see how we go. And as we come out of the pit, speaking of close, here is Nico Rosberg. He just gets ahead of us. We just get ahead of Pascal Wehrlein and the Ferrari of Sebastian Vettel. And Wehrlein's full position here. He's legitimately there, fighting for a podium at the moment. We go through a Rouge, and Vettel behind us. There's been a yellow flag. I think Vettel might have hit Wehrlein, because in the mirrors, I can't see the Manor car anymore. But that was so close coming out of the pits. Rosberg just about got us. But crucially, look at this. Rosberg and Vettel on soft tyres, so they're not going to the end. So we're doing no more stops, going to the end. These guys are going to have to catch me back up after making one more pit stop. But we're looking at a replay now. We're going to continue on with the off camera on the track cameras to look what happened, because I'm pretty sure Vettel hit Wehrlein off. Up Eau Rouge, oh my god. Wehrlein absolutely sent flying there by Sebastian Vettel. Let's take a look at the slow-mo. Nope, yeah, see you pals. Goodbye. That is comically just a great crash there. Vettel just punting Wehrlein off there. Just no craps given by Sebastian Vettel. Just get out of my way, you slow car. And now, because of that, Sebastian Vettel's right up our gearbox on lap 11 now. Down the Kemmel straight, he'll have DRS, so surely this will be a pretty easy move for the Ferrari man. He goes round on the left-hand side on soft tyres, and I can't really do too much about it. He gets cleanly past us even before we get to the brake zone, and I don't put up much of a fight into the brake zone, because there's no point. We're going to the end on a one-stop. These guys have got to make one more pit stop, so you have to play the clever game and just go the long distance and just wait for them to make a pit stop. And speaking of that, there goes Rosberg into the pit. So Vettel continues on. He'll take the lead of the Grand Prix momentarily. And there's Rosberg on the right-hand side. You can see coming down the pit lane. So we're up into second place now. And then the very next lap, I think, lap 13 on towards lap 14. Vettel's into the pits, and we retake the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix. Vettel will go down to third, I'm pretty sure, and Rosberg in second. They're going on to the medium tyres, so they've got the rest of the Grand Prix. We're on lap 14, so that is about 8 laps left of this Grand Prix to catch me on 5-lap new medium tyres. So we're going to have to see what the pace is of that Mercedes car and the Ferrari against this McLaren on worn mediums, and it only takes them 5 laps to catch up to me. We're on lap 19 at the moment, or going on to lap 19, I should say, and Rosberg right here, well within 1 second. Vettel, you can see in the background there, Rosberg's already got DRS down this straight into turn 1. We don't take the best line, actually. We go a little bit wide, and I'm not too great on the traction off this corner. Already feeling the medium tyres, and Rosberg actually overtakes us even before Rouge here. And I realised, actually, I thought this might be a bad thing. I was kind of panicking. Oh no, we've lost the lead of the Grand Prix. But I remembered the DRS line is actually there. So we've now got DRS back on Rosberg. We get back in the OP slipstream down the Kemmel straight, open DRS, and we walk past Rosberg. So Rosberg was probably thinking, I've just got the lead of the Grand Prix on fresher mediums. I'm all set. But no, we come back at him straight away and get back into the lead of this Grand Prix. So then I learned I can use that tactically to my advantage here. So we move later on to lap 19 though. Rosberg still caught us up in sector 2, and here he goes. We're in rich mix, but he's going to come on the right hand side. He's going to go side by side with us. Will he stick it round the outside of Blanchimont? Here we go. Come on, Rosberg, what you got? Through Blanchimont, we keep it tight on the line, and Rosberg just can't do it there, showing how much commitment Rosberg just doesn't have there. Clearly why he's not leading the championship at the moment. You can see on later on, this is Rosberg now fighting Vettel. Vettel's overtaken him with DRS, and these two have a bit of a ding-dong battle through this next section, and it actually just helps me out gratefully. You can see there I'm in first place. We're on board with Vettel at the moment. They go side by side through all these corners, and all the while they're doing that, they're just losing time to me, and that helps me out quite a lot to kind of keep this lead till the very end, last few laps of the Grand Prix. Still going side by side through this very long sweeping right-hander, and all the time you can see I'm just getting a little bit here and there. Rosberg eventually gets ahead of Vettel once more, so Rosberg's back in second, Vettel back down to third, but initially Vettel did get him there after he tried to overtake me, Rosberg. But now we're on to the last lap of the Grand Prix, so all that battling's helped us out to the last lap, lap 22. So come on, one more lap of Spa to survive this, and we could be in for an absolute amazing win here at Spa. But here comes Rosberg yet again, but yet again we'll get the DRS, but this time crucially Vettel goes down our inside, up side by side through our Rouge. We got a bit of oversteer mid-corner up our Rouge. I don't know how on earth we kept it side by side and not made contact there with Sebastian Vettel, but we had a bit of opposite lock through that corner, but we'll slipstream and DRS Nico Rosberg once more down into the brakes on the right-hander, swoop round, and we're up into first place of the Belgian Grand Prix. But that was absolutely amazing. I do not know how we did not make contact, because I literally got so much oversteer at the top of that hill. Here we go, side by side, looking at a replay. Look how close that is. That is amazing. GG to Sebastian Vettel. Much respect. So close to my side pod there. That could have been easily an accident if he didn't kind of slow down enough to give me enough room there. And there you can see we go cleanly down the inside of Rosberg. He doesn't have anything to match for us down the brake zone, but onto the back straight towards Blanchimont. This will be another try for Nico Rosberg and maybe Sebastian Vettel. We're covered by 1 second. You can throw a blanket all over three of us, and Rosberg goes for a move on the right hand side. Vettel comes down my inside as well. Rosberg's got it. He's into first place of the Grand Prix through Blanchimont though. I tuck in, I get a toe off Rosberg, so just like Baku, we get a double toe down the inside of the bus stop chicane. We go a little bit deep, but we've made it. We've legitimately gone down the inside there. We push Rosberg a little bit wide. We're going to come through the final corner. Vettel will take second, but we'll take the lead and the win of the Belgian Grand Prix.
It feels right, yeah. I can only say that it feels right.
And it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance.
I'm just going with the gut. Never had a doubt. Felt like this is just a must. Put me in perspective, I'm the deepest in the cut. Everybody tuning in, but this is just for us now. You know I ain't bloody yet. Always wanna holler. Oh no, I don't call them back. Girl, let me see you. Hold it down, we gon' have a blast. Cause I just wanna know what you gonna do with all of that.
Well, the taste of the champagne and the top step just really does feel very good. I am so happy with that. We have won our very first race of our career mode. We've won our first race for McLaren Honda, and I'm so proud of that win. That was awesome. The one stop worked a treat, so the team absolutely did one on strategy. They really did call that correctly for the one stop, because I really thought still the two stop would have been better, but no, the one stop worked out. We had the pace. We, tactically used the DRS properly, used the fact that AI could overtake me through the first corner because I had poor traction off that McLaren and the worn tyres, but we got them back down the Kemmel straight. Tactically just perfect there for us, and that means we jumped the second Williams of Bottas there. We already had Massa in our back pocket, but we've got Bottas now, so we've moved up there right behind Daniel Ricciardo in the championship, so maybe you can try and chase down him. And then in the constructors, we're still not ahead of Williams actually, but we're doing well to catch back up to them, and that's my target by the end of the season, to hopefully overhaul Williams and get fourth in the constructors. I think that's the main target there. But what an awesome race that has been. A perfect race for us in terms of the R&D points as well. We get a buttload of R&D R&D points. We go through, we also get the first driver bonus as well, so we get a lot there, but actually, if you'll see, the total by the end of it is still not going to be enough. Just over 600 points there of R&D points. That's still actually not going to be enough to get a new upgrade just before we go to the next Grand Prix, so I can't spend any of it, really, because we don't have enough. I mean, we could spend it on fuel efficiency, but I really don't think it's any worth for me at the moment, because really, I don't really struggle with fuel that much. The only place we've struggled was Baku, but that's because I underfueled the car a bit too much. So no upgrades to be able to spend here, so hopefully after FP1 of the next Grand Prix, we can spend some more points and get an engine upgrade potentially, or maybe just the next drag reduction or downforce, because we've got tracks like Singapore coming up, so that might be important. But guys, if you've enjoyed that episode, smash that like button. We've won our very first race of our career mode on Ultimate AI against what was a very tough opposition. Rosberg and Vettel had me all race. They were right there, and they kept me honest through the entire Grand Prix. It was such a satisfying win. So smash that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And around here, then do subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content. I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.